How minimalist is too minimalist? This is a question many woke people are asking themselves right now, newly woke, that is. And it's in reality one I've been asking myself as well. I kid about the woke thing and all, but given the importance that this new growing kind of lifestyle has on sustainability of the planet, personal happiness, I think it's safe to ask yourself how much minimalism is too much minimalism. And we're going to go right into this. Thanks for joining me today. All right. So first of all, if your house currently looks like this, you've gone too far. You're too minimalist. The reality is we have to have things. And if we are at the point where we don't even have a fork, for those of you who are new here, this is what a fork looks like. I'm going to pull up an image here, and they come in all types of materials. Here we have a lot of metal forks. You might have one in your home too. I have a lot of them. And by the way, before we go a lot deeper into this, making a few jokes here, but this is Jaron Lukas Live, a show on YouTube that actually has been scientifically proven to make people smarter who watch it. So thanks for joining. If you're tuning in live, shoot me a chat and I will respond. And I'd love to know what you think about how minimalist is too minimalist. So moving on into this, I found an interesting article from Mind Body Green. It's actually this one from this photo here. And he talks about 8 signs you've taken minimalism too far. This is by Tyson Popplestone, a minimalist. And if you haven't checked out Mind Body Green, it's actually a really good publication. I always find myself stumbling upon it. And he says something pretty funny here, which is it feels good being a minimalist. It's like being a vegan in 2001. It's a little bit mysterious. You feel pretty cool telling everyone about your new lifestyle choices, and people seem genuinely curious. And yeah, that's so spot on there. I think anytime someone is falling into this, first of all, it's probably after learning a lot about Buddhism, but maybe not. Maybe you just care about the environment, or you're looking to live a less materialistic life. And I'm going to tell you about a little story I had there as well today. So he goes into these are more ways to find out if you're just being effing annoying about your minimalism. But you get preachy about your new lifestyle. This one's hilarious. Your neighbors can't stand you because you're always borrowing their stuff. That's definitely taking it too far. Unless you live on a commune, a minimalist commune, then this number 2 is actually perfectly okay. And by the way, if you believe in minimalism, give this video a like, would you? Help spread the word. So number 3, you're jealous when somebody owns less than you. That's like the reverse consumerism. Your guests have nowhere to sit. Hilarious. I mean, the thing about this place is at least they have a chair. So there is always lower to go. They have a chair and a yoga mat. And you could fit at least 4 people on the yoga mat, as any minimalist knows. You're constantly repurchasing household essentials. That's hilarious. And I'm going to give a little plug here. I'm joking a lot here, but I actually very strongly believe in minimalism. And I think that it's really one of the keys to finding personal inner happiness. And so this is something where if, some of you out there might know me from my banker days, back when I was an evil investment banker, only cared about making money, and that was about it. And I've changed a lot. Meditation played a lot into that to start. As if you've been following this channel, I've, talked a lot about that and how it's changed my life. But I'm going forward, I'm actually going to be going deeper into it. There have been some topics around it. Part of it's the inner happiness thing. Part of it's just like going deep into the feeling of pure consciousness. and what that feels like. Things I maybe felt uncomfortable discussing earlier on in the channel that I'm going to be talking about a lot more now. So for those of you who have been watching my channel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know who you are. And if you're a minimalist or if you think that it's a bunch of garbage. So continue. This is, I really am excited about this thing. So I'm actually in the process of starting a company around this. And we're going to talk about some of the business opportunities for you entrepreneurs who watch my channel. Hey Basics, it's still being formulated, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But one of the pages, which I may go into deeper this week, I really talk about why a minimalist lifestyle makes us happier. And you know what I talk about is the typical young adult today experiences immense stress and a sense of unfulfillment stemming from a false personal identity. And that's an important part of all this, because really this is all about attachments. And I thought about titling this video, "Is Minimalism Modern Buddhism?" Because in letting go of all these things you have, you're letting go of not only what's holding you down physically, but also it's getting rid of the cycle of, and this is why I talk about in this article here, which I'm probably going to cover on another video on this channel, maybe sometime this week. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so to catch that, and also catch future live streams. So hit the notification bell if you aren't already subscribed, to make sure that YouTube lets you know that you want to be notified and participate in my live streams, which if you're viewing right now, hit me up in the live chat. Let me know what you think about minimalism and opinions you have. If you practice it, would love to hear from you. So I talk about in this article how letting go of attachments is really part of breaking a cycle of always needing more. And in a way, and they kind of go into this as a joke in the other article, but you're either in a process of trying to accumulate more. And the problem with that is that you accumulate until you hit a point where you can't afford anything. And then that's where people get into real trouble, is that they want what they can't have, so to speak, and it creates real misery. And this is one of those things that the Buddha talked about a long time ago, really talking about how you have to break the cycle of attachments. That's what he said. Attachments is the cause of suffering. So, and in this article, you can see my little pop-up here. So in this article, I go into really this concept. We desire, we consume. We desire, we consume, and so on. And this process leads to a cycle of behavior where we consume to our limit, leaving us with objects we still can't have that create everlasting discontentment. Many of these objects are often not what we truly want either. They're items that we believe will make others hold us in higher esteem, another type of attachment that feeds our ego. And that's where I wanted to go next. Is there's the wanting of more and more things. There's the letting go of things, which can be too far when you start being jealous of people who have less than you. And I don't think that's a problem for that many people. But definitely this problem of looking to others who have more than us, getting rid of that. And part of that is a ego thing. Like, am I worthy? And if I'm worthy of it, then why don't I have it? Maybe you're dealing with this. I think that a lot of people who are either in finance or, really success driven, tend to have thoughts like that. So that's really a path that I've broken, is getting rid of that kind of thinking, looking at what other people have. Definitely one way to stop that is just to stop being jealous altogether and at least start being happy for people. But then you can start to look at yourself and you still might feel like, oh, well, I deserve more. And so it's really starting to ask yourself why. And things you'll uncover are different thoughts, like, I deserve more. So that could be like, why do you deserve more? And if you dive into that, it might be that, you want to live your life to the fullest extent. And that kind of comes from a good place. But then when you really dive into it, it's more like you want to experience everything. You don't want to be limited to the life you have. And that striving for everything is a cause of immense suffering. So getting rid of that feeling or that type of thought process. Another one is that some of us want to be looked up highly by others, and this, of course, you already know this. Whoever you are out there watching, hit me up in the comments and let me know that you already know this. But it's pretty basic, right? That we look at how do we stack in comparison to others? Society is made up of different hierarchy structures. And I even question if we have this perfect, what do we call it? Like robot AI driven society where nobody needs to work anymore. Will everything still be equal? Quick answer, no. Because even if money doesn't matter, even if assets don't matter, which they still might in that paradigm, but even if they don't, like fame will matter, and politics, your hierarchy. People always find some new hierarchy to spend their time striving for if they want. So it's really about, I definitely have felt this before, especially in my 20s. I'm 34 now. So, I definitely have felt the, like, I want to achieve great things because I want other people to know it. And that's never a path for success, because the problem there is that it drives you into doing things that you're not really passionate about. So, and buying things that aren't things that like will really make you happy, again, maybe for like a couple of weeks, a month, but there's nothing you can possibly buy in the world that will make you happy long term. So it all comes back to this idea of what I have here, killing the ego. And that's what it's all about. I really need to, my best performing video right now on YouTube search is actually this meditation I did for letting go of the ego. Go check that out. That's in my meditations. It should be actually pretty much at the top of my page. And what I really like about that one is you will experience the feeling of like your ego disintegrating and you just kind of becoming one with the universe. That's not what this video is about, but killing the ego is a very important thing to do. And that's very much in line with letting go of attachments, which again is like Buddhist 101. And so the idea here, how much minimalism is too much minimalism? Well, we have a few more things here. Your partner is terrified to make any purchases, causing, I don't think I agree with that one. Maybe, who knows who they are? Maybe they have a shopping problem. That's one of the big addictions that people have, know it or not. Your idea of a good weekend is decluttering the house again. Yeah. You don't want a partner because they take up too much room. That is the ultimate sign here. But these are decisions we always have to make for ourselves, right? Because even if you believe in minimalism, you do still need, like, you should probably still have a place to sit in your home. You should probably still have silverware. You should, because if you don't, then you are probably using disposable stuff, and that's even worse. So it's really about finding your balance of what works for you, and it's a never-ending process. So right now, next thing I'm getting rid of is a bunch of clothes I haven't worn in a long time. That's a good place to start. Another thing to really think about is I think the best way to pick around at these things is to look at not only things you haven't used, but things that are taking up too much of your time right now, like your mental time. And Alex Becker, let's see what his name is. Great YouTube channel if you're an entrepreneur. And there we are. So Alex, Becker. Yeah. And he's just gone straight up minimalist here. He has some really he's got some really funny videos, and you can see his new minimalist apartment up at the top. Money will ruin you. I went too far. This guy's made like $30 million in online advertising space. And so he, it's like a bit ironic to see him doing this. And he calls himself now the most woke guy on YouTube, as a joke. But I mean, it's an official title. He did win the YouTube award for most woke guy on YouTube. So that was very impressive. And what's really interesting here is that, this is someone who recognized that he had reached a point. He had a Lamborghini, he had this giant mansion in Dallas, and he realized like these things are just holding him down from what he really wanted to be doing, which was move to San Francisco and 10x his tech company. So he sold all of his stuff. He moved to SF very recently, actually, and really talking about how it's not just like not being greedy or caring about what people think, but what's really been important for him is not having things take up his mental time. So getting rid of things taking up your mental space. That's a great reason to go on this path. And so whatever it is for you, most likely you are, okay, we also want to go into this because I want to show you how this is growing. But whatever it is for you, like for whatever reason you are becoming minimalist, I imagine it has to do with the fact that you're either moving or you're killing your ego. And if you're killing your ego, this is a really great path to be on. And what I want to show you is that you're not alone. A lot of people right now are doing this. And so what I want to show you too is because we like to cover a little bit of business on this channel. If you're thinking about starting a company right now, think about how people who are moving to minimalism might need new products. And that is one of the core companies I'm starting right now. And just look at this chart over the last 5 years. It's been steadily growing that more and more people are searching for minimalist. There's another term that literally is like rocket shipping right now. So if you focus on the right keywords, this is a growing market. And what I would have you question is, what do you think will happen to this when a recession comes? I'm all about looking for recession-proof businesses. And so if you can create a business model around when people really start moving into financial minimalism, and that's something that Graham Stefan has been talking a lot about on YouTube. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. Probably not. He talks a lot about financial minimalism, very, very important thing. Again, we have some pictures of forks. We'll leave it on that. The most important thing about all this is it's really not an option. It is an option. Everyone has their own choices they can make in life. Some will make them happier. Some will make you not. I really hope I have a lot of friends who I was friends with like 10 and 15 years ago, especially in finance, who like were deeply part of this money culture. Have to have more, have to show it off, have to spend it at nightclubs. And I really wonder where they're at today. If you've had friends like that, I'm curious if any of them are still acting that way into their 30s, maybe even 40s, because that's a thing where as I've been growing, this has been such an important part of my life, is moving away from caring about what I have, caring more about, I want stability, I want freedom. But freedom is a much easier thing to attain when you don't have a lot of expenses. So all of this kind of leads into like, I don't care about what people think of me anymore. Like when we're doing these live streams, obviously I only have like 3 to 5 people watching at any time. So I'm so thankful for those of you who are joining. The goal actually is to grow this into 100 people watching live by June 1st. And I think we'll do it. Cause really I think we're about 3 months away from the channel having a very solid direction where it's like engaging to people on a daily basis. And I would love to hear your thoughts on like what kind of topics you would like me to be covering. So please do that. And if you've been watching this far, give this video a like, please, so that it shows up in YouTube's algorithm. More people can watch it, become minimalist like us. And another thing, if you are becoming minimalist, one practice I would highly recommend is visualization. And there should be a book about it in the description. Otherwise, you're going to have to go to my website. It's called The Secret to Visualization. I've written 2 ebooks last year. One is called Growing with MarketScience. It's all about finding product market fit if you're an entrepreneur, creating growth strategies. But this other book, The Secret to Visualization, describes how you can practice visualization and visualizing a lifestyle that will fulfill you. That's what minimalism is about. So it's not about like, am I too minimalist or am I not minimalist enough? That's a whole other ego thing, that you're beating yourself up over not doing something right. So don't go there. Go to my website and download The Secret to Visualization and give this video a like. And we are live streaming every Monday through Thursday. That's brand new this year. I really have moved the channel into that because it's a lot more fun for me. Hopefully it is for you too. And I'm really curious to hear what topics you'd like me to be covering. If you'd like me to cover more minimalist topics in particular, let me know in the comments. Sometimes we cover like business strategy. Sometimes we cover like how to be a better, happier person. And we're kind of like merging the two into videos recently. So hope you've been enjoying that. And until next time, which is going to be tomorrow, stay visionary.